mascarilla, bitch, I'm dying mascarilla.
Live mascarilla, bitch, I'm dying mascarilla.
Yo, what up? It's Roger from the Mascarilla podcast. Today, we have the legendary Nedarb.
What's good?
What's up, dude? So you have some big news
Oh, yeah.
that happened real recently.
Yep. Talk about it?
Yeah, what?
I mean, I have a son now. He's like a little over 2 weeks old. He's like 13, 14 days old. He was born November 19th. He's great. He's healthy. His name's Shavo. Yeah, it's chill. I mean, it's really, a newborn is like way easier to deal with than people think, because all they do is like eat, sleep, and shit, and like that's it.
Really?
So, yeah, they're not really like up playing or like trying to do anything. They just like wake up, cry to eat, you know, and then it goes back to sleep.
I mean, is it weird, like right now as we're speaking, you have a son in the world sitting somewhere?
He's at Jasmine. Jasmine's the mother of our son. He's at her grandma's right now because like her family's all from here, and so there's like a lot of like local help. None of my family's like out here, so the first few months we're like stationing him there to like just get all the extra like female help, like mom, grandma, aunts and shit. And then so he's over there chilling, probably eating or sleeping.
So I mean, when did you figure out that this was all happening?
I found out super early. I found out she was pregnant when she was like 5 weeks. So it's been like a long time coming. Luckily, I'm glad I found out early because I had so much time to prepare and like get ready and just like get my life like more in order.
So what's like the long story short? Were you guys dating? Was this planned?
No, it wasn't planned, but it was just like, no, we weren't dating, but we dated, like, we're dating now, but we dated way back in the day, like in 2015 for a bit. And we broke up and then, did our thing for a bit. And then, I don't know, shit just happened again. It just, we would like hang out all the time. Shit would happen. And then one time it just happened.
So do you like remember the specific night?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
It was the first night me and Chris Horsehead were DJing Cha-Cha.
Wow. It all happened to Cha-Cha.
It happened after Cha-Cha.
It happened after, but it started there.
Yeah, so
oh my God.
It's a little Cha-Cha baby.
You should have named your son Cha.
Well, what's funny is his middle name is Elijah, but like that was Peep's middle name. But like my favorite, like, they're gonna be mad if they see this, but my favorite bartender there, his name's Elijah. So he was like, "Oh, thanks for naming your kid after me."
And you were like, "Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
you're welcome. Free drinks for life."
Gave me
right?
some free drinks that night. But yeah, it was, I don't know, shit just happened, and then I found out. And at first it's like, oh fuck, like this is gonna be crazy, and then like you're just like, okay, it's happening, like time to man up, and then it happens, and now it's chill, everything's good.
So how long was that process of you being, oh shit, this is insane, to wait, this is my life?
Probably like a month. I was just like, I only had like a couple friends who had kids, and I've never really been around newborns at all. I didn't know how to like hold them or anything. But like once you have like your kid, like you're no longer afraid to like drop him or anything. You're like, you're never gonna let go. Like he's not gonna drop. Like you're not gonna mess this up. Like that's like your baby. Like you're gonna make sure he's good no matter what. You're not gonna. Yeah. So once he's here, it's just like, oh bam, everything's different, and then your mindset's just like everything you do is like for him now. So it's chill.
When did you tell your parents? Because you mentioned they're in the other side of the
waited
country.
hella long. I waited months and months. Like I found out in like like March or something, or like late February or some shit like that of 2018, and then I didn't tell them till like the summer, like June or some shit.
Oh wow.
Because I wanted to tell them in person. So I visited my mom in New Hampshire, and then I told her. I thought she would freak out, but she was like pretty chill about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. moms that like our generation's like age, like however old they're like ready to be grandparents. Right. It's just like their life's getting probably boring and they just want something else to like pop up and happen. So she's stoked, but yeah, she's gonna come visit for Christmas and meet him because she hasn't met him yet, my mom.
Because how old are you?
I'm 25. My birthday's in like 2 weeks.
Okay, right. Yeah, we're like right around the same age. Do you have a sibling or?
Yeah, I have a little sister. She's 23.
Okay, so you're the first one.
Yeah.
To have a kid. Okay. So I mean, was there any thought of, I'm gonna go back to New Hampshire with this child, or like, no, I'm out here. No. Like her whole family's out here.
Yeah, I would never go back to New Hampshire.
You don't want to raise a child in New Hampshire?
Fuck no, dude. Hell no. I mean, it was cool for it was chill, like growing up there for me because I didn't know anything else. But like, no, I would never. The only places I like cities, and like, so we're either gonna live here or. My parents and my sister moved to New York. They moved to Brooklyn. Like, well, they're in the process. My dad got a job at this place called Long Island University.
Yeah,
doing some coaching.
Yeah,
shit.
My dad went to that school way back when.
Yeah, he's the women's hockey coach there.
Wow, crazy.
So they moved there, or they're in the process of it. So like, I want to like spend a lot of time there.
Yeah.
So Shavo, he's gonna be growing up in between LA and New York. He's lit,
dude. That's the dream right there.
Yeah.
Crazy. So, are you all living under one roof now, or what's going on?
Well, like that's the goal. But right now, he's stationed, like I said, at her mom and grandma's.
Okay.
Until he gets like a couple months old, like, and gets all his vaccinations and shit, and like he can like be out and about. But like, yeah, we're just trying to get as much help as possible the first couple months, and then like skirt back over to my house because I live like by myself, so it's like perfect. I mean, I have the crib there, and like there's hella toys, and like it's all ready to go. So yeah. I'm just waiting for her and Shavo to like be ready to like make that switch.
So at what point do you think it was like real for you?
What, him?
Was it when he was born? You're like, wait, this is my life now? Or was it?
No, it was probably like, like when he came, like his due date was the 10th, November 10th, and he came on the 19th. So it was real like 2 weeks prior to the 10th because like a baby can fucking pop out like either 2 weeks before or 2 weeks like after is like the time they allow that shit to happen, like, or where it's normal to happen. Yeah. And so when it was like that date, it was like, okay, he's gonna be here any day now, like there's no more fucking around, like. But then he didn't pop out right away, and he took like 9 extra days. So I was like been ready, like we had already went to the hospital like 3 different times and shit, and like to get updates and see what was going on. So by the time he was here, I was like, okay, I'm ready.
Yeah, because we have all the same friends pretty much. And I would hear from them and they'd be like, yeah, he's at the hospital. And then you put on Instagram the first time, I guess, you were at the hospital, and everyone was like,
well, we thought she was gonna like get induced at that time because she had this doctor who was like pressing it, but we were like, nah, we're gonna like wait a little bit because it's still before the due date. Like, we're not gonna induce her if she doesn't have to be induced yet. So we waited a bit longer, and then
because there was even a question of if you were going to be able to perform at the Lil Peep 1 year memorial event, and we were like, wait, is he going to be in the hospital that night?
Yeah.
But so it finally happened. So what was that like? It's something
it was crazy, man. I cut the umbilical cord and everything. Yeah. It was sick. I was like helping like the doctor like hold her legs like as she was giving birth and shit. Like that was the most like life-changing experience of my life. Just like seeing like your fucking son like pop out the coochie. Like that shit was lit. And what was funny is there was a TV on in the room, and this movie was playing. Like, you know, Sacha Baron Cohen. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't know if you've seen his movie The Dictator, but it's
I haven't seen it, but I know what it is.
That movie was playing as my son was popping out the coochie. It's just like a troll movie.
Yeah.
And I was listening to Black Cray for 2 hours prior. Like I was listening to Black Cray, like in the zone, and then like popped out. Shout out Cray.
So first time holding your son, what was that like?
It was sick. It was chill. I snapped a pic right away. I was like, I need this. But no, it was cool. It was great. He wasn't like, he cried a little bit and then he cooled off, and I don't know. He wasn't freaking out like the other babies in the hospital. Like,
really?
Because we stayed there for a night after, and I could just hear the other babies like in the other rooms next to us, and they were just like freaking out the entire time. And our baby was just like chilling.
So your child, the mother of the child, happy, healthy? Yeah,
she's good. She's recovering. She's good. Nothing crazy going on. I'm blessed.
Dude, that's incredible to hear.
Yeah.
You mentioned you don't have too many friends with children.
Yeah, I mean, like I have a handful. Lotus has a kid. Baby son has a kid. Some other people, but and Laguni Changa, she has a kid. So Shavo will have like some little music homies, like
that's so
already.
Crazy.
But yeah, not like a ton. All those babies are like pretty new, except for Lotus's son's like 3 or something like that.
How has your life changed since?
It's changed because like, I mean, prior to me finding out that I was going to have a kid, I was super fucking just like low and just like getting blackout drunk like every day. Just like super just like sad about dumb shit or whatever. Just like felt like there was like no point in living anymore type shit. But when I like found out like I was gonna have a kid, like it was just like, okay, I have something to like live for now. So I just kind of like cleaned up a bit, and like I still like have a beer here and there, but like I'm not like blacking out to the point where like, just doing obscene amounts of like God knows what, just to like, I don't know, be up for days and shit, just like wake up and drink. So like, I don't know, he kind of like saved my life because I definitely was not like like healthy at all. Like I fucking totaled my last car I had like blackout drunk at like 8 a.m. last year, and then a couple months later found out like, okay, I'm about to have a kid, like time to smarten up.
Yeah.
So that's changed a lot, like because like she could call at any moment and be like, oh, there's something going on, we gotta go do this, and like I can't be like blackout drunk like dealing with my son, like. So it just helped me like smarten up a bit and like help me be like a little bit better with like what I surround myself with, and like just even like how I present myself a little bit, and just like, I don't know, just like my house is cleaner. Just small shit, just trying to be a little bit more healthy as I drink this Red Bull. But yeah, I don't know, it just helped me get like back on the right track. So yeah, shout out my son.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like he came at the right time.
Yeah, he did. Like it made sense why he came. And it's weird too, like I named his middle name Elijah because like Gus passed, like my son's a Scorpio, Gus is a Scorpio. My son's due date was November 10th. Gus passed away on November 15th or 14th? 15th. So it was like, and he was born on November 1st, so it's like, damn, my son's like coming right when like one of my best friends died. Like that's insane. Like what the fuck? Like of course.
Yeah, because when you were in the hospital the first time, it was when Come Over When You're Sober Part 2 was dropping.
Yeah, I thought he was going to drop like that day. I thought my son was going to drop the same time as Gus's album, but no, it came a little bit later, but still it was like so close. It was like, whoa, of course that happened. Like shout out the universe for making crazy shit happen.
Dude, insane. Because I was trying to think of the first time me and you met. Do you like remember that?
I don't know. It wasn't at the Lofts. It was before that. It was before Pasadena, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Was it Pasadena or before?
It was before that.
Where the fuck did we meet?
So I didn't realize this until Cold Heart told me, like randomly a year ago. But we met at when Mascarilla, the Unmasked Concert Series, the Young Lean show.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Way back Wait,
That was 2014.
that wasn't Unmasked?
Yeah.
It was them and Goth Money?
Yeah.
That wasn't Unmasked?
Yeah, that
I
was
didn't even know that.
Yeah, it was the first year.
So I was low-key scrolling through my old Instagram pics, and there was a picture that Marcy took of me, and I was at that show. That's like when I met, like Cray, I'm pretty sure, and all those fools. I didn't know that was at Los Globos.
No, so what happened was the one at the Troubadour,
Oh yeah.
which you were also at, but you couldn't get in.
Yeah, I couldn't get in. I
that's
remember
how we
that.
met.
Yeah, I remember that.
And
then there was another one,
Right.
at Los Globos, but that
Yeah.
wasn't a Masquerade one.
No, that wasn't on Mesh Show. It was like legally supposed to be, but
Before the
some
clout
weird shit
couldn't
happened.
get in.
Dude.
Like,
No, so the story goes, or what I've been told, because I do not remember this, that you and Cold Heart came up to me, and I think I actually do kind of remember it. You were like, "Hey, like, my name's Nedarb.
we were probably like, we produced City of Doves.
Or you were like, I know the Masquerilla. I used to submit my music.
Oh yeah, I definitely I didn't submit music, but I've followed Masquerilla since like 2009.
Right, that's like when it started, which is the craziest part.
Because it was like an East Coast thing.
Yeah, it was like a Northeast. Pretty much.
I remember
block.
being like, I remember like trying to rap with my homies in high school. I was like a senior in high school and trying to mimic like Chris Webby and like Sam Adams and all those fucking frat rappy type fools, like
that
corny as
Northeast,
shit.
yeah.
Well, shout out to them, but like at the time it was tight. Looking back, it's kind of funny now, but yeah, that's how. And then Mac Miller, like, rest in peace. But like, yeah, I remember watching the first interview and everything. Being a Masquerilla OG.
Yeah, because so why I was thinking about that is because I went through the messages like earlier today and all of our correspondences and trying to figure out when we spoke for the first time, and then that predates that by like I think we started talking maybe around. Maybe like late 2014, but early 2015. Yeah. But what was your situation back then in 2014? Were you living in LA yet?
I'd moved to LA from Wisconsin. I lived in Wisconsin for like 4 years after I graduated high school. And I just like, I was dating somebody at the time and we broke up, and the next day, my homies, shout out Milo, and my homie Safari Al, and this other dude, Consolo, my three guys from the Midwest, but they were already planning on like moving here, and they were like, all right, we're leaving today. And I was like, all right, fuck it. I quit my job and then just like left that day. Never been to LA. I had a car and then they had a car. And it was like me and my homie Consolo in one car and the other two fools in one. And we just drove to LA, and I was making beats. I had just started making beats, and we toured on the way. We played at like random kids' houses and shit, and like little like art spaces and stuff. But yeah, I had got to LA like in June of 2014, and we found like a crib like in Boyle Heights, and then I was going to college in Burbank at Woodbury University, and just like doing music. And like that's when I joined Thrax House like when I was in Wisconsin, and then I moved there. And then I had already had like a little circle of people like, and then that's when I met Horace. I was like a huge fan of Horace from like producing for Cray and shit. And then I just hit him up. And like, I'm sure kids have hit me up like, oh dude, I'm moving to LA. But like, he actually like kicked it with me, and we went to a Speak show. It was like Speak and Intuition at Troubadour.
Wow.
And then
holy shit.
And then I like moved in with him for a couple weeks until we got our apartment. But yeah, I was already in Thrax House, and then I showed the Thrax House people like Kia McNabb, like Horse's music and shit, and like then he got in, and then just like spread from there. And I was already doing music with Coldy when I was in Wisconsin, when he was in fucking Sesh.
That's so wild.
We did a project called Revenge, and then like I was like, Horace, you're gonna love Cold Heart. And then like he was like, word, and then showed him his shit, and then like drove down to Long Beach to pick him up, and like yeah, and then the rest was history.
Because pretty much what you're known for, along with the actual producing of music, is you've been in the middle, bringing people together, fucking connecting them for years at this point.
Yeah, I don't even mean to do that. Like, it's just It's just normal. I'm just like, oh, you guys have like a similar interest. Y'all could be homies, or like your guys' music would mesh well together. Like this is so and so. This is so and so. Because I would like that if people like did that for me and shit. Like, but yeah, I don't know. People like took notice for that type of shit, like more so like recently, like, oh yeah, Ned, like he made that thing happen.
Right.
But it's cool because I never like did any of that shit for people to even say that. I was just like trying to like have homies.
Yeah, because so when I was going through those first messages were all you just sending your friends stuff to me.
Yeah.
I think like Thrax House stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's so wild to look back on.
Yeah, I was
like,
trying to get you to premiere like everything.
Yeah, and I think I did.
Yeah, I think you did. Yeah,
I think I premiered a good amount of it because so you were in school working on music, but at such a small level at that point.
Yeah, it was small, but like there was still like in the little SoundCloud-y, internet-y scene, like it was picking up like kind of quickly, but like because I started off as like, excuse me, Cray. I was like working with Cray a lot, and he was like one of the first people to like put me on like a tape and make sure it said produced by Nedarb, Nagrom and shit. And then and then a lot of people found out about my shit through like Cray.
You met him on the internet?
Yeah, I met him. Yeah, I mean, I just was like a fan of his shit, and like I used to run this blog called Very Bonus. It was like just like a Tumblr blog, like where I would interview artists and shit. And like I did his first interview, like text interview or whatever.
Holy shit!
And fucking, he told me he was 16, and I like believed it. Like I don't even know how old he is for real, but like I know he wasn't 16 then, but. Fucking, I was like, damn, this 16-year-old kid is fucking sick. Like when I heard his music, I just thought it was like the craziest shit ever. Like Flex King Gotta Love and like fucking all that old shit. Like the Krayshawn song he did, and like I don't know, just hella shit. And then I produced on his tape City of Doves, and so did Horse and fucking Jaya. So it was like, and then we're all like, oh, we're all Cray producers, like, and that's why at that show we were bummed we couldn't get in, because we're like, we produced those songs, dude.
Well, that show is a classic. It's at the Troubadour. It's like 500 capacity, and it sold out. That was when Young Lean was on top, and it sold out in like seriously 5 minutes. Damn. And there was like 1,000 kids outside. Yeah. And that show was fucking nuts, dude.
Fuck yeah. Young Lean's new album's sick. He just dropped one.
Yeah.
It's tight.
So, I mean, what's the transition from I'm in school and I'm taking that seriously to...
I wasn't even taking school seriously. I did school because I wanted to give they're probably going to see this, but I wanted to just have a reason that I was like out here. Like instead of just like, oh, I'm going to like do my music shit. Because like, I'm sure they like, I don't want to say they didn't support me, but with like my music stuff, but like, they were probably like, oh, that's a lofty goal. Like, do school. Like, we're the first people to do school in our family. Like, do it. So I just did it. And then I was just doing music, and I don't know. I was actually doing really good at school when I was busy as fuck with music. Like, and then I don't know, I suck at math, and I just kept having these math classes that I would just fail all the time, and I was just like, fuck this. And then like some shit happened. Like I had left Thrax House like in like April or something of 2015. Like I don't know why. I was just going through something, and I was like, fuck this, I'm leaving Thrax House. And then I just drove back home to Wisconsin. I just like left the house that I was living in with like Horse and like everybody. I just went back home. And then I was like, okay, well, I just left school. I didn't even tell my school I was leaving. I just left my group, and then I'm just like back in Wisconsin. Like, I don't know what the fuck I was doing. And then I was like, fuck it, I'm going to move back to LA. So I worked at a factory building soap, like plastic soap dispensers for like companies, like fucking, like just buildings, bathrooms, like putting plastic shit together for like a whole summer, and then moved back to LA. And then I went back to college, but I mainly went so I could live in the dorm, and I was just using it as a place to like live. And then I was doing my classes, but then I found myself always going down to LA because it was in Burbank, and just taking music more seriously. And I was just like DJing hams a lot, and like DJing a lot of shit. And me and Chris and like our homie Blanco, we were like throwing shows a lot. And then it just started like taking up more time than school was, so I just stopped going to school again.
What was that, 2014?
That was late 2015. And then like when I had left school, I was like, that was like right before I met that was like right around the time where I met like Gus online and shit, and Brennan had the Pasadena house. And fucking I was living somewhere in like South Central with like this kid, and I was just sleeping on his floor, and he had like snakes and shit, and I was like terrified of these snakes. And this fool, I don't know, I just like, it was a fucked up living situation. And then I met those fools online or whatever, and then I just went up to Pasadena, and then I was like, Brennan, can I please just live on your couch? Like, I need to get out of where I was living, because it was like super far. I was like in the 40s, which is like close to South Central, and I was trying to get a job the whole time, but all the jobs I wanted to get were like in downtown or Chinatown, and taking the bus up there every day was just like taking too much time. And then I was like, let me just come to Pasadena and like just chill there. I'll find a job up near Pasadena. And then I just started living there.
Because at that point you were really refining your sound. And now looking back on it, it's almost 2019. It's easy to say, oh, well, it's emo rap and it's emo music and it's trap. But what were your influences at that point, and how'd you create this sound that everyone knows now?
I say it started before that, probably with like Numb by me and Horse. It was like a Silverstein sample, this song called Giving Up, because like growing up, that was one of my favorite bands, and like I just thought sampling like old emo shit and putting trap drums on it would sound cool, so I just did it, and then it worked, and then like that just became a thing.
Yeah. Because
it's kind of like I can hear it even in like mainstream shit now. Like I hear more guitar-y, like emo type influence shit like everywhere now.
Yeah. I mean, it's all over the radio.
Yeah.
I mean, like obviously with the songs that slap you across the face with it, and like, oh, this is clearly influenced by it, but even like pop artists you wouldn't expect. It's like, oh wait, I can hear that in the background.
Yeah. But it was just like that, and I don't know, I make tons of different kinds of beats, but like I guess the ones I'm most popular for are like those type of ones. But it was just like a mesh of the current like use of drums and hip hop, and then just taking old elements of shit I grew up on and just meshing them together. Because
you were into a bunch of like the Warped Tour type of bands growing up, right?
Yeah.
So like, who are some of those bands?
I mean, I remember my uncle Sean, he put me on to From First to Last, like in 2004 or 5. And he showed me the album Dear Diary, and that's like my favorite album of all time. And he showed me that, and then he showed me fucking Slipknot, Korn, and Cradle of Filth.
Wow.
And so it was like those 4 bands like just like put me into like a spiral of like all that type of music. But it like I liked just shit like Chiodos, Senses Fail, Taking Back Sunday, Armor for Sleep, like all those. And then like I would like stupid shit like, well, it's not even stupid, Amir's hard as fuck, and like Job for a Cowboy and Bring Me the Horizon and shit like that. And then like these like old 90s emo bands like Mineral, American Football, this like old screamo shit, Seisha, just like the whole realm of shit I liked a lot. I mean, obviously like Hawthorne Heights, all that shit. And yeah, This is what I grew up on. And then I liked hella rap at the same time too. Like I loved like Tribe Called Quest and like Mos Def and MF Doom and Jay Dilla and shit like that. Like I was really into crunk music too. I remember like one of the first CDs I bought was Me and My Brother by Yin Yang Twins. I love that album. It's like that, and then like College Dropout, Chicken and Beer by Ludacris. I like Bone Crusher, just hella shit.
Did you ever listen to that? I think it was a compilation. It was something called Punk Goes Crunk.
Yeah, those were corny to me, but like there were some bangers.
Like right up your alley, though.
Nah, like I liked shit, but I wasn't like scene. Like I didn't like shit like fucking Broken Side and like Blood on the Dance Floor and shit like that. Like, but I did like bands that were on those things, like All Time Low and Devil Wears Prada and shit like that. Some of those songs were funny. My favorite one's the Devil Wears Prada song "Still Fly." It was like it was a Still Fly screamo remix. Or a Day to Remember did like this Kelly Clarkson remix.
Really?
And that shit was hard, but that shit was cool. But yeah, that's the type of shit I liked. I went to Warped Tour like every year.
Yeah,
it was the best. I love Warped Tour in Boston, and it was like raining every year. It's just the worst. My mom or dad would like drive me down there and then wait in the parking lot the entire day until I like got my license and then fucking started going.
Dude, whenever I see at the shows I throw or whatever, I see parents, I always make it a point to say like, thank you so much for supporting your kid.
Yeah.
Because, you know, not every parent is gonna.
Shows are super important. I would that was like a huge part of growing up for me. It was like my little $10 allowance. I would save that up and buy a CD every fucking time I had enough money for a CD at like fucking like what were those stores called? There was one called Bananas, I remember. Or like what were the CD stores?
It was like something Wall, right? Or
I would get them at like Barnes and Noble too. They had CDs. FYE
for your entertainment.
Yeah, I would go there all the time.
Yeah,
and like just a bunch. No, not Bananas. There was a store called Coconuts that was a CD store on the East Coast where I lived. But fucking yeah. That, and then just like begging my parents to bring me to shows, or like finding a homie to like drive down to Manchester or like Boston or like Burlington and just go to shows like all the time. It was the best.
Yeah, because your dad's a hockey coach, and what does your mom do?
She's like a social worker.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So grew up in New England, just going to shows all over there.
So 2014, 2015, you're really getting comfortable in that sound.
Yeah.
Who else? Obviously, Cold Heart and Horsehead were in a similar, sound. You guys were all friends. Who else was out there doing
Coldie's old
it?
shit was like, yeah, Coldie's old shit was kind of like that. And then he did like this like glow gang type shit, like rapping over like Chief Keef type beats or like, just shit like that, but it was like sick as fuck. Yeah, Horace was doing shit like that. This kid named Ghost, who's spelled the same way as Ghostman, but without the main. He was like an original Thrax House member too. He lives in Vancouver. Never met him or anything. I know Chris has met him, but him and Chris did an EP a long time ago before Numb, and it was kind of awesome shit like that. There was JP Dream Thug was doing cool shit like that. There was a handful of people.
Do you remember the first time you heard Peep's music?
Yeah, the first time I heard his music was when we had a song together. It was like I was doing a lot of vocal stuff, and this kid, Young Jizza, like put me and him on a song together. The song Apparition Love, which was like just a bunch of kids that I honestly didn't even know at the time. I just kind of knew Jizza's music, and then fucking he was like, "You want to do this verse?" I was like, "Yeah, fuck it." And Peep's part was like the first part on it, and I thought it was tight. So we like followed each other or whatever. But he had already knew of my shit from like producing for Xavier and like Eddie and stuff and Cray. So then we just started making music, and then I just would send him beats all the time, and he would get on them and like instantly and send them back. And like I remember he did Beamer Boy and sent it to me, And we just acted like it was just like another song. It was just like, oh, that was tight. Like on to the next one. Like didn't know it would like blow the fuck up and shit. But yeah, he was like, do you like my songs, dude? And I was like, fuck yeah. He's like, you actually like what I do with your beats? Like, I love your beats. And I'm like, fuck yeah, dude. You're like my favorite person to make music with. So yeah, I knew shit would like catch on, but I didn't know it would like catch on to like the level it is right now.
That was when he was still in New York?
Yeah, and then, well, I mean, it was in New York, and then he, like, a few weeks after we started talking, he had, like, moved into the Pasadena crib, like, back into it.
Mm-hmm. When was the first time you actually met him?
I just went up there. I just, like, took the bus up there. I took, like, 4-5 buses to get from, and the trains and shit to get from fucking like damn near South Central all the way up to Pasadena. And I met him and Craig Zen and like some other fools and Brennan and shit. And then just in like Wavy, I'm pretty sure, and like just hella fools. There was like 1 million people there.
Yeah.
And I just like stayed. I was like, I'm gonna go grab my like bag of shit and like just stay. Brennan's like, it's cool. Cause like I was never just like bumming. I was always like looking for work and like just like I was gone most of the day too. I would like leave the crib like all day and like go down to like downtown area and just like kick it and like do my thing and then like come back to like sleep and like make music and shit.
Weren't you working at Jamba Juice at some point?
No,
not Jamba Juice.
House Phone used to work at Jamba Juice.
That's what I'm thinking.
No, I worked at Starbucks. I worked at when I was living in Pasadena. I'm pretty sure I was working at. No, I wasn't even working. I had a job. One of my last jobs I remember when I was living at the Lofts was I was working at this place, Pecking Tavern, and I was like, it was just like this Japanese like bar, like restaurant downtown, and I was a dishwasher. And then I worked at fucking this like New Orleans style food place, fucking called Little Jewel. I was like a cashier there. I've had like 1 million jobs. I worked at Hard Times Pizza in Echo Park, but I kept like quitting. I would work for like a couple months and I was like, fuck this. And then just quit and keep it moving.
Because were you even putting those past jobs on your resume, or you were like...
I would put like some of them. I would put whatever ones like last a long time. Like I've had a ton of jobs, but the longest I've ever worked at one place was like a year. It was a sandwich shop in Wisconsin called Herberts and Gerberts. It's kind of like Jimmy John's
shit I've ever heard in my life.
Wisconsin kids will be like, "Oh, dude, Herbs and Gerbs,
dude. I used to go there all the time.
It was sick. It was like in this college. I mean, it was in Green Bay, and then.
Wait, did you live in Green Bay?
Yeah, I lived in Green Bay. Well, I lived in a town called De Pere, which is like right next to Green Bay. That's where I went to college at St. Norbert College. But I lived in Green Bay. I lived in Madison and Milwaukee.
Were you like going to Packer games, or?
I went to like one preseason Packer game, but that shit was annoying. Everybody there like Packered out.
Town
like,
also shuts down, right?
Yeah, and it's like a tiny ass town.
Yeah,
it's like the smallest town. I'm pretty sure to have like a professional sports team. But yeah, I was like, fuck Wisconsin, I gotta get out of here, and then moved here.
I'm a big Packer fan.
Really?
I like make the trek up there. I try every year, but it's not every year.
Way.
Like every other year, maybe.
You go to Green Bay?
Yeah, dude. My entire family back, like, to my grandparents.
Yeah.
Big fans.
Yeah, I lived there for mad long. I was like a janitor out there and worked at Five Guys, working like a couple jobs at a time. Just,
How many
like,
jobs have you had?
I've had so many. I worked at a frozen pizza crust factory in Green Bay. Yeah, it was trash.
What was your worst job that you ever had?
Probably like, wasn't like the worst, but the most like hard work type manual labor job was like setting up like tents and like tables and chairs for like weddings and shit, but like those huge ass tents that take like 4 or 5 people to like put up, and it's just hella hard work.
Yeah.
And like like driving a truck around like all over fucking Wisconsin and shit, and like northern Michigan and shit, like driving all the way up there, and then having to take all the shit out of this truck in like the middle of summer and like almost falling off with all the shit on you. That, and like I don't know, I worked at a fucking like mail packaging factory, but it was like all junk mail. It was shit you never open, and you're just like putting these little forms about bullshit in an envelope, and then like stacking them all up, wrapping them, putting them in a box, getting hella paper cuts, and then like I remember like I would just go into the bathroom and like sleep, and then just come back to my line and act like nothing happened. But yeah, that sucked. Those are probably the worst ones.
What was one of your favorite jobs?
Favorite jobs was when I worked at Herbert's and Gerbert's.
Herbs and Gerbs.
It was because it was a sandwich shop, and I worked in the town where the college I went to. Like I dropped out of St. Norbert, but I was still living like right there, and I would just work all the time, like 7 days a week. I worked every day, and I would work at night, closing till like 3 a.m. So we would get like the bar crowd, but all the people from the school was so small, like the college I went to, it was so small, so I knew everybody. So everybody would come in, and I would like hook people up, and like fucking I would like play like trap music like at the sandwich shop, like when everybody would come in. It was like a function in there.
Wow.
And like I had a couple people I worked with, and I was also delivery. I let people like drink in there and shit. But they fired me. They thought I was selling drugs out of there, but I didn't. I've never sold drugs in my life. But I used to like, my friends would be way too drunk to drive home, and since Green Bay is pretty small, I would just like take my delivery car and like pretend I was going on a delivery and like drive my friends home, or I would have them order delivery. Like they would be ordering from inside the store, and I would pick it up and then drive them home. It was responsible.
Yeah, you're being
That was my
smart.
favorite job because I could do anything and I got free food.
Free sandwiches all day long.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And my manager was like a pastor, so he thought I was like evil. He thought all the people who worked at night were like psychopaths. But we were doing crazy shit in there, low key.
Sounds fine.
I know I like piped up in the bathroom at one point, like while I was working.
Oh my god.
My girlfriend at the time. That was funny.
Shit, dude.
Coming undone. But yeah.
So, wait, we're going too far back. In the Pasadena House, what was that like? And at that time period, I think I've interviewed almost
many people.
everyone who's lived there.
It was crazy, dude. I mean, it was just like, I remember having to try to get a place to sleep on the couch, like trying to pass out before everybody so that you would have a place to sleep, or else you would just get the floor and like use your hoodie as a blanket or something. But it was just hella kids like packed into a place. I remember Brennan's house didn't even have a fridge like for mad long. Like he didn't have a fridge almost the whole time I lived there. So if you got food, like you couldn't save your leftovers and the shit. Like fools barely had money. I remember me and Gus and Brennan, like we took like fucking like 10 ramen packets and put them in this big ass like pot and like we were so hungry we thought we could eat all this fucking ramen, and like we're stirring this giant pot like and made all this ramen and ate it, and it was like really bad. I think we mixed hella different kinds of the ramen, like shrimp and chicken.
Sounds
and like
terrible.
everything all together. Thought it would be some masterpiece, and it was just the worst. But yeah, no, it was cool. There was hella music that Gus was recording all the time. He never stopped recording. Yeah, we were just making hella music. I was rapping a lot then. I made like a whole rap tape called Rare Baby in the living room when everyone was passed out. Derek was always making hella beats. Fucking yeah, there was just hella shit going on. I made Brennan like start rapping and singing. I was like, "You're getting on this song with me." It's a song, "You Took My Heart." I like made him get on that. And then he started doing hella shit. It was sick. Craig Zen was there. He like there was this song called "See Baby the Bitch Killer," and if you listen to this song, it's like the craziest, like loud, like aggressive song ever. And we recorded it at like 7 a.m. and I'm pretty sure like the neighbors were like complaining because like he's just screaming, "See baby the bitch killer." Like everybody's like waking up like, what the fuck are you guys doing? Like just making bangers. But yeah, it was just hella people there. And then like Brennan got a place in Whittier. I skirted over there with him, and then me and Horace and fucking Peep and Laderick, or no, it was me, Peep, Laderick, and somebody else got a place at the Lofts, and then Peep he was there for a little bit, and then he got his own crib in Echo Park, and then like Horace moved into the Lofts. So it was like Pasadena, Whittier, then Lofts.
Yeah, I going through the messages. You probably don't even remember this. You were scrambling to find someone else to live with you guys at the Lofts.
I was.
And you hit me up.
Really?
You're like, hey man, do you want to live with us? It's like me, Gus, a few other people.
You're probably like, fuck.
Yeah, dude, I'm good on that, but thank you. And now I'm like, fuck, man, I wish I would have spent. Nah,
you would have not liked it.
Yeah, I'm like,
there was no silence ever. It was, and plus like it was like 4 or 5 people, and like at any given time, any of us probably had an extra guest, like our homie or somebody like hanging out. So nobody ever, you just kind of got used to like sleeping when it like hella shit was going on. It was cool. There was hella shit that I feel like there was less work that got done there though. Like there was hella shit that got done at the start. Like I remember Peep like finished Hellboy there. I remember him recording OMFG in the middle of the loft, like just sitting in like a fucking folding chair like this, or this isn't a folding chair, but like a metal folding chair, like in his computer in front of him, just screaming at the top of his lungs. And then it was just like a party house after that.
Yeah.
But that was good time.
It was always a wild scene there.
It definitely. It got shut down on New Year's this one night. I like flew back in, and I like me and this one kid were like, yeah. He was like, can I have our mutual homegirl's like birthday thing there? And I was like, word, I'm friends with her. That's cool. Like as long as it's just like a little bit of people. And I was like, I'm gonna have a little bit of people too, so we could just have like a collab party. And then I come back home and there's literally 300 people in my living room. Like it was insane. And then it got shut down. It was like a whole thing.
Because didn't you move in with Gus in Echo Park?
Yeah, because like fucking. We stopped living at the Lofts because we were told that the Lofts were getting renovated and that we could only live there until that amount of time or some shit. So we were like, okay, well, we're all going to move out in January. We were only there for like 6 months. And then Gus had like a room open at his crib, and I was like, let me just sublet it. He was like, okay. So I just like subletted it and lived with him for a bit, and then I found my own crib with like my homegirl Mel down the street from like me and Gus's that moved in there.
So even back to the loft, how were you paying rent? Like what was going on?
I was working at this I was selling. That's when I quit my last job I ever had. I was like slanging beats and repos. And then working as a dishwasher. So between those 3 things I was making enough for rent. And the rent was cheap. I only had to pay like $600.
Because one of the constants of my early memories of you, it was always, so you eventually became a fixture of the Unmasked Concert Series, and you played them all up until recently when you were way too busy. But it was always like, man, can you put me in an Uber or like send me a pizza?
That was because back then I just like I was also banned from Uber and Lyft because I made like 1 million accounts, and I'm pretty sure they just figured out which phone I was using. Like I was using those like text apps to create new numbers and like making new emails just to get a ride like on the spot.
Yeah.
So I was just like using the bus a lot, and like I didn't want to take all my fucking gear on the bus and shit.
Yeah.
Shit like that. But yeah, I used to sell beats for pizzas and all that.
At what point did you start to see it kind of pay off? Because it was years of you sleeping on floors and working jobs.
Because I was like just making enough from shows and selling beats. Like just whoring myself out, probably like I haven't sold a beat in like 2 years because I just I'm not gonna sell a beat for under $1,000, like period. Like I have a fucking kid, like I'm not going back to that shit. But fucking, I was just selling beats, and I just realized that I was making more from selling beats and doing shows, like my little warehouse parties I do, than fucking working as a dishwasher.
Right.
So I was like, I can quit this job and like have enough to pay rent, and then it freed up all my time, and I just was like, okay, I'm fucking living off of music now. And I just like never went back to working a normal job.
And then when Gus blew up, you were his DJ for a little bit?
Yeah, I was his DJ. I was his DJ for his first European tour. We went to like Russia and like fucking London and some other places. But yeah, it was like 6 shows or whatever. Our homie Sherwin was the tour manager. Shout out Sherwin.
Oh yeah,
it was crazy. It was a fucking mind blowing time. Like the first show was Moscow, and like we landed and like there was hella kids at the airport. We had never experienced that type of shit. Like even that was like only a little bit after like Hellboy came out. So like it wasn't like super, like it was popping, but it wasn't like super like, because I feel like the next year, like his last tour before he passed was like insane, but like before that, like I don't know, I'd never seen a crowd that big. It was like 3,000 kids.
Yeah, I think you guys were the first ones from our scene to go over to Russia and Europe.
Yeah, at least from like our little circle of friends.
Yeah.
And that was just insane. It was like, oh shit, this shit is real. Because he was huge on that website VK, which is like this Russian social media site.
Because he also wasn't that popular yet. It's hard because
he was like so popular, fast. But like...
Right, but I remember seeing your videos you put on Twitter of that first Russia show.
Yeah.
And they were chanting his name or chanting like GBC. And I was like, wow, this is so
maybe
real.
What I'm saying is maybe a room at that time, like a 3,000 filled out room. Like, I don't know if that would have happened in the States right away.
No.
And then when he came back and did the tour, like it was all sold out, but like the rooms were probably smaller, a little bit smaller. And then the next tour, they were like bigger as fuck.
Right. So what happened? You weren't his DJ for the American tours.
It was cause like fucking like I talk about this like, oh wait, hold on. I was trying to, you can cut this part out, but I'll start right here. Fucking, okay, so me and Gus, we got into one argument, like, ever, and it was when we were living together, and, like, I just remember, like, I came home, and I was with hella my friends, and I think it was, like, a bunch of people he didn't know, and I was just stopping at home to change, and then I was, like, leaving, but I was with, like, 8 people, so, like, I think he got kind of pissed that I was with, like, all these fucking people, but I was like, I pay right here, like,
yeah,
it's my crib too, like, I'm just here for a second, and then I'm leaving, and I was with this girl at the time, and she, like, called him a little bitch, and then me and him just got into, like, a huge verbal, like, argument, and it was, like, awful, it sucked, and then we weren't even, like, fucking with each other for, like, a couple weeks, and then that was right before the tour, too, so I was like, fuck, like, I'm gonna get kicked off the tour, and then they're like, well, nah, you're still on the tour or whatever. But then we went on the tour and then came back. But Jans was already the GBC DJ, so like, he just started doing it. But that's why, and then I got like my own crib. But we had gotten to like a little weird argument, and then when we were in Europe and shit, like we got cool. We're like, okay, sorry about that. Like, sorry, my girlfriend called you a fucking little bitch.
Yeah.
And like, you know, I didn't say it. Like, that was whack. But fucking yeah. But yeah, and then Jans was a DJ, and that was cool or whatever. And then I just like became Ghost DJ.
Right.
That shit was great. And then now I'm just like Zubin's boy, and like Lotus's. That's the plan for 2019. If there's tours, is like those are the guys I'm gonna go with.
So after that Europe tour, everything changed for Pete. But how did you see your life change after that as well?
Well, because it was like I moved out and lived with somebody who wasn't doing music for the first time since I lived in LA, and it was kind of refreshing because I got a crib with my homegirl Mel, and she just like goes to school and like works, and it was like, okay, now I can just focus on my shit,
right?
Because like when I was living with Gus, it was amazing, but it was like I could barely focus on like just like I produce for Gus, but I also do like hella other shit, and like I just needed to focus on like everything I wanted to do. So it was like kind of nice to live away from my music homies for a second, because I could just like really buckle down and like figure out like where I wanted to go from there. But yeah, so I just moved in with her, and then was still doing music shit and just, I don't know, just doing my thing. But then at the same time, that's when I got super depressed, and I was like drinking a lot in that house and shit, and like, yeah, but I got over it. And then shortly after, found out I was having a kid, and then now we're here.
Right.
And now now I don't live with anybody.
So somewhere around that time, you started touring with Erick.
Yeah. I
did
toured
that
with
come
him a
about?
little bit in 2015. Like we did like a little Texas tour. It was like me, him, Wavy, and Omen. And then it was because we were doing hella of the Damon tapes.
Right.
I was the only person he was like working with as far as a producer aside from himself. And that was just like one of my best friends. He still is one of my best friends. Our homie Shane's his DJ now. But fucking, yeah, he was just like, you want to come on tour? I was like, duh, of course. Like, went back to Russia and Europe. It was great. Good times.
Yeah, because I guess Ghosty ended up kind of he's getting so popular, he has like his own world around him now.
Yeah, he does.
So his friend is his DJ now. But
he used to be the merch dude. He was like Shane, like he started off as the merch guy or whatever, and then I had to go back to the States in like the middle of the last Europe tour for whatever reason, and then fucking Shane was already a DJ, so he just took over, and he's fucking awesome. He's so good for it, and like I'm pretty sure he's a part of Black Mage now.
Right.
Like shout out Parvo. He's gonna be on my album too.
Ooh.
I want to talk about my album.
Yeah,
a little
okay,
bit
so we're
after.
getting there. We're getting there.
The album is gonna be sick. But
So-
Parvo, great dude. He's a DJ now.
So you're living by yourself, you're working on your own music. Even years before that, you already had upwards of 20 projects out.
I have over 40, but they're all just like beat tapes, or like I used to rap a lot, so they were like just shitty rap tapes. But this is like a Nedarb album. It's like how Metro Boomin or like Clans drops albums, where it's all their beats and like homies on them.
So what's the story? You put up on Instagram maybe a few months ago or more at this point that you signed some sort of deal. You were signing a contract.
I signed a publishing deal.
Publishing. So
Yeah,
what's
I'm not
that
signed-
for the kids who have no idea what that is?
Bro, I can't even tell you. Like, I know what it is, but
Right,
like,
yeah.
just Google publishing deal. It'll be able to explain it a lot better than me. But it's not a fucking record deal or a producing deal. It's just publishing shit. Like, I don't know. They just help you out a bit with like certain shit and like getting your music in certain places. But
Right.
fucking yeah, so I'm not like signed or anything as far as like my record. Like, I want my record to come out on something. I'm trying to shop it around and see if anybody wants to put it out. Or else I'm just gonna put it out myself. But it's just like, it's sick. I'm gonna call it Amity. It was the first tattoo I ever had, and it just means like unity and like friendship and like fucking things, like I don't know, things working like as they should, like as a unit. And that's like what it is, because there's like a million fucking people on it, but it all came naturally. Most of it was recorded with me. And fucking yeah, there's like hella emo shit on it, like ambient type shit, fucking trap shit. There's like West Coast bangers on it. It's like, it runs like 45 minutes. There's a couple remixes. Parvo did a remix. The homies from this band Girl Pusher, they're doing a remix of this like sick ass Alice Glass song I have on there. Shout out Alice. And yeah, it's gonna be fucking great. I'm gonna drop it like first week of January, I think.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So just whether we Spotify, Apple Music.
Yeah, it'll be on
SoundCloud.
everything regardless of how it comes out. It'll be on everything. I want to make physicals, I want to make tapes, vinyls, I want to do everything. Gonna work on a video with Quiet Cam for this song called Angel in the Night with Brennan and Lotus in a few weeks. So yeah, it'll be sick. It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah.
I can't wait
Dude,
for it to
hell
come
yeah.
out. And then I want to like tour off it if I can. I want to like do shows and like, because everybody on the tape is from different places, so it'd be cool if I did little like Nedarb shows in like different regions where the people that are from that area like come out and perform, and I bring them out and like do songs off the album and shit. That's like what I want to do with it.
Yeah, so who's on the tape or the album?
There's like Father's on it, Big Baby Scumbag, Horace, Lotus, Zubin, Brennan, Smart Death, John Simmons, Alice Glass, Eddie Baker, Baby Son, a bunch of fucking people, man. There's like so many people. Like, there's either Wicca's on it. The first song me and Wicca ever made, where it's just me and him, is the first song on it.
Wow.
Like, because we've been working for 4 years, but there's always been other people on the songs, so I'm really stoked about that. But yeah, there's like a ton of people. I'll probably drop the track list like in the art, like in the everything, like at the same time soon. I'm just trying to figure out what I want the cover to be, and then yeah, drop a video, and then drop the album like right after.
Sometime in January.
Yeah.
Hell
But
yeah.
I'm trying to drop and finish a video within the next few weeks. I don't know when this is going to come out, but like
sometime soon, a week, maybe.
yeah,
A
so
couple
it'll be
days.
before my fucking birthday. But like I want to have a video done and out around my birthday, December 19th. And then the album after that.
Oh yeah. So you're living alone in a beautiful house, which I'm
Thank
sure
you.
everyone's seen on Instagram.
Thank you.
Funny story. I actually looked at that place.
No way.
Yeah, before.
know that.
Before
You went there?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I don't think I've been there since, but
And you were like, "Oh shit, this is."
it's so sick. It has like
I
the
didn't know that.
like orange railing out and that insane view.
Yeah.
But I have a really dumb car. I have a '66 Mustang, so that hill
That
it's
car's
on-
yours out there?
Yeah.
Damn, that's sick. I didn't know. I always thought that was like your neighbor's. Like
Oh
an
no,
old
no,
neighbor.
no, no, no! That's my car that I drive every day like an idiot. Because
Did you buy that out here?
Yeah, I got on Craigslist a few years ago.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't have done well on that hill probably.
Yeah, so I was like, this isn't the best place for me, but it's incredible.
I'm gonna live there for a couple of years and then find a place that's on a flat road because my car's been hit. Like it's one of those
Yeah.
fucking narrow ass streets. Like you have to park so close to that fucking like little rock ledge thing, like little hill thing. Like my car's been scraped like 2 or 3 times. Just people drive and like huge trucks go down that shit. And like they'll wake me up in the middle, like early as fuck in the morning. Like, can you like put your mirror
really?
in or like
Oh
move
my
your
God.
car? And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, come on. But it's great. I didn't know you viewed it. That's funny.
Yeah. Oh wait, something else I wanted to ask you is when did you meet Tracy?
I met Tracy like when he had like maybe 50 or less followers on Twitter, and I met him on Facebook. I was messing with this girl at the time, and she was like visiting me in LA at the Boyle Heights crib, and he like he posted a video of his on her wall, just like shared it. It was a Young Bruh video for this song called, it was either for this song called Eternal or I'm Coming. And I loved it. I was like, Young Bruh, this is going to be crazy. And it was like the coolest shit I'd ever heard. Like if anybody listens to Tracy, go back and listen to Young Bruh. And especially the album Emotion. We put it out on Thrax House and I like helped him put it together. But I met him online and then we were talking on Facebook all the time. And I would just send him beats all the time. I was like, dude, you're fucking sick. Just like let's I want you to be in Thrax House. Like let's make all this music or whatever. And I told him he could come live on our couch. I just knew he was gonna be a fucking factor. And then he the day that Emotion dropped, he had left Virginia and flew to Seattle where his dad lives, and then he came down to LA like shortly after that, and then just like lived on me and Horace's couch and just kicked it and was making heat and was in Thrax House doing his thing. And then I gave him like a Tracy McGrady jersey that Keenan Outta gave me. It was like a Thrax House pass down, and then he started calling himself Little Tracy. And then went from there. But yeah, I met him like 2014. And then, came to LA and did his thing. Now he's in New York killing it.
Yeah, he's apparently doing really well too.
I love Tracy.
Yeah, same.
I love him. I'll do anything for that fool. I talk to him like every day. Like,
oh, really?
Yeah, I still talk to him every day. He'll like FaceTime me randomly or I'll call him. Like, he's up at all hours, so I could call him at like 5 a.m. or whatever if I'm feeling some type of way. But yeah. Shout out to fucking Tracy, Young Bruh, Soldier Witch.
Yeah, shout out him, shout out Nick.
Yeah,
I
Blanco.
mean, me and Tracy talk a fair amount too.
Yeah.
Trying to get him on this bad boy.
I don't know when he'll ever come out here again. For some reason, he just hates LA.
The plan is I might go out to New York. I don't even want to talk about it because it's never going to happen.
You could not. You just pull up on him.
So like, dude, I got the mics in my hand.
No,
but we've had some serious talks about it.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
Yeah.
He's been doing like interviews and shit.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Like he just did a bunch of press recently. He put out Sinner.
Pitchfork and Fader.
It sounds like he's doing well. I've spoke to Nick and he's, seems good.
His new shit's bangers. He's going to take over in 2019.
So you're there early in a lot of artists' careers. Do you ever feel like you don't get the credit for that?
Sometimes, but I think people are starting to realize it now. Shout out Zubin also. He's my favorite person to work with right now.
Yeah.
Go listen to Heavy Downpour, the album he just dropped.
Fire.
Got some beats on there. But fucking, I don't know. Like, I just know when shit's fire. And I don't, as a producer, like, I don't care how many followers you have. If you're tight, I'm going to fucking work with you. I don't care if you have 50 followers. If I hear it on my own and like I like it, I'm going to fucking fuck with you and like do whatever I can to help you. And like, I don't expect anything back. I don't care. I just want good music to be spread.
Because it's not only with your friend circle that you were there with early, like including Peep. I went through my messages. You sent me a Smoke Perp song. You're like, dude, you're like, dude, you have to fucking.
Tracy showed me Smoke Perp though.
Wow.
But like he showed me,
crazy.
He showed me this song called Pull Up. It's fucking hard. I love Smoke Perp's shit. Like, and especially his old shit is so fire. Yeah. But yeah, Perp, he's great. I used to talk to that fool a decent amount too. I want to still do stuff with him. But yeah, I definitely was like Adam book him for a ham. Like first LA show, I'm pretty sure he did. Same with Pump too. And like, even Made in Tokyo, all these fools who probably have no idea that I was like low key just putting people onto them. Like,
you know, it's funny because that show was a Masquerilla show that you told Adam to put.
I couldn't even make it. I remember
it was like a Lil B show, right?
I'm not sure what it was. I played the Lil B show.
Oh, you did?
Masquerilla.
Yeah, that was. I mean, according.
I don't think Smoke Perp was on that.
No, Made in Tokyo.
Oh yeah.
According to him and his Instagram, that was his first LA performance.
Oh, crazy. Well, see, there you go. Fucking a bunch of fools. Shout out House Phone. I remember he was sending me all these like bass freestyles like that were just so fucking good, and I was like, dude, this shit's amazing. And one of the songs was this song Dial Tone, and I just took it and there was an open verse at the end and I rapped on it and then I just dropped it and didn't tell him, and then it like blew up, and then now he's like doing worldwide tour, or I feel like he just did a North American tour with Father and shit, right? But I just like to be a part of shit like when it starts.
Someone else that stands out to me is Six Dogs.
Yeah, Six Dogs.
You were the first.
Six Dogs. Yeah,
you were first on him.
Yeah, there was a couple other people I'm sure, but fucking I was definitely like playing him a lot around Gus and like fucking all the homies and shit. Tell my mom that I'm sorry. I love Six Dogs. We did a song Someone with Captain Crunch. That was good. I still gotta do more shit with him. Shout out Six Dogs. You played me that song at Peep's place. Well, you and Peep's place, and I think that was around the same time or the same day that you FaceTimed him and Peep was there or something. Yeah. And then that's when I did that interview write-up thing about how he's like grounded and But I mean, that was all you. That shit's crazy. Yeah. He's the fucking man. He's a genius. Shout out Six Dogs. So is the plan now, do you want to work with bigger artists? Are you sick of this underground fucking thing? I just don't even think shit's underground. I just think it's like, bro, Brennan and fools just did like a crazy ass tour, and that's still considered underground, but people have hella fans. Like, I don't even know what that really, like, I get what it means, but like fools can do just as big as rooms as like, I feel like Thug and shit. Like, if like within the next year especially, like I'm sure Thug could sell out more, but it's like you could pack out the same like 1,000 cap venues. I feel like with like some of the homies and shit. But fucking, I want to work with Drake really bad. I've always wanted to work with Drake. I remember the old homie Erick Dingus got a placement from him, and like it was sick. And he knows underground shit. Like he got on an Oogie Mane beat. Shout out Working on Dying. They're fucking killing it. And I want to work with him. And like fucking Party Next Door I love. And like I want to work with a lot of singers. I want to work with, obviously I would do a song with Thug. I want Lil B to get on a fucking beat. I still want to do a song with Space Ghost Perp because he's definitely a huge inspiration. I did a song with my favorite rapper of all time that will come out in 2019. That's all I'm gonna say. Can you? It's gonna be sick. I can't say anything else. I'll tell you after. Okay. I'll tell you after. But people will be mind blown. That's all I'm gonna say. They're gonna be like, "How the fuck did that happen?" Okay, so here's what I need you to do. I need you to
mouth it to me with your hand over your mouth so that my reaction can be on camera.
I don't even know if you're a fan of them though. I'll write it.
Okay.
I'm not gonna mouth it.
Okay. Does you having a son and a child in this world that you have to support kind of change where you want to take your shit? What?
Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
How? Wait, we can't.
I'll tell you when it comes out. I'll tell you the story. Isn't that crazy?
Is it on your album?
No,
that's so
it's on
fucking
something
weird.
else.
That's insane.
So
that was
crazy.
like the
I'll
last.
play it for you after.
Oh, you have it done already? Oh my god, yes. That's so crazy.
Right? Which is wild. That's so weird.
Literally, no one's ever gonna expect that.
I know. Anyways,
wait. So you have a son that you have to support.
Yeah.
Does that like affect? Obviously, your personal life is in check now, and you're doing really well.
Especially financially, like I'm never gonna have less money than I have right now. Like I only want more.
Right.
And because I always want our situation to be comfortable. And right now it is. So I just have to make sure I stay busy and keep like taking opportunities to make songs with people no matter what the circumstances, like even if it's like late as fucking night, but it's like I know it could be a banger, like just do it, just make this fucking song. Who knows, it could blow up, it couldn't blow up. Work with whoever like that you think is gonna be tight, because like any song could blow up and like you could get a huge check from it. Not saying it's about money, but like it kind of is when it becomes your fucking job. Like I have a kid, like I have to make money, and good music like will make money, like, you know, if it's in the right hands. So it's just pushed me. Like Shavo, like my son, even though he's only 2 weeks old, it's affected me so much. It's just like you have to go fucking hard. Like you have to do this. And my baby mama Jasmine, she's so supportive of my music shit. Like, wow, I love her. Shout out to her. She makes really cool music too. Under Baby Africa, she's great. We got a song dropping in a couple days, but fucking. Yeah, she's great, and she's super supportive, and she's just like, if you have to go on a tour or anything, like, I understand, like, it's not just to go fuck off, like I'm focused, like, I have a kid back home and shit, so, like, yeah, it's sick. It's a cool situation.
Crazy. Mm-hmm. Well, man, thank you for stopping by. Thank you for coming on the podcast.
What runtime is this?
I think we're looking at an hour and 15 minutes.
That's
I don't know.
good.
Like, how do you even see it in this program?
Shit. I can't even tell you from this view.
Yeah, I don't know. But I like try and keep track. It's somewhere around there.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, make sure you get Nedarb Amity when it comes out. Lil Zubin, Heavy Downpour. Fucking, I got a project with Lil Lotus coming out. Body Bag 2. Some other shit. But yeah, stay tuned.
Hell yeah.
Live Mascarilla, bitch, I'm dying Mascarilla.
Live Mascarilla, bitch, I'm dying Mascarilla.